Today our topic is the Stoic way to stay calm under pressure. Life is full of challenges, and sometimes we feel like everything is too much to handle. Work, relationships, health, and even small daily problems can make us feel stressed or overwhelmed. But the ancient philosophy of Stoicism teaches us how to stay calm and strong, even when life gets tough. Stoicism is not about ignoring your feelings or pretending everything is fine. It is about understanding what you can control, accepting what you cannot control, and focusing on your own thoughts and actions. This way of thinking can help you stay calm under pressure and face life with courage and peace. The first step in the Stoic way is to understand the difference between what you can control and what you cannot control. This idea comes from the Stoic philosopher, Epictetus. He said that some things are up to us, and some things are not up to us. For example, you cannot control the weather, other people's opinions, or traffic jams. But you can control how you react to these things. You can choose to stay calm instead of getting angry. You can choose to focus on solutions instead of complaining. When you realize that you cannot control everything, you stop wasting energy on things that are outside your power. Instead, you focus on what you can do, and this gives you a sense of peace and strength. Another important Stoic idea is to focus on the present moment. Many of our worries come from thinking too much about the past or the future. We regret things we did wrong, or we fear what might happen next. But the Stoics remind us that the past is already gone, and the future is not here yet. The only moment we truly have is now. By focusing on the present, you can deal with problems one step at a time. This helps you stay calm because you are not overwhelmed by everything at once. For example, if you have a big project at work, instead of worrying about the whole thing, you can focus on the task in front of you. This makes the work feel more manageable and less stressful. Stoicism also teaches us to accept challenges as opportunities to grow. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "The obstacle is the way." This means that every problem or difficulty is a chance to learn and become stronger. When something hard happens, instead of seeing it as a disaster, you can see it as a test of your character. For example, if you lose your job, it is a difficult situation, but it can also be a chance to find a better job or learn new skills. If you face criticism, it can help you improve and become more resilient. By changing your perspective, you can turn pressure into motivation and use it to become a better person. One of the most powerful Stoic practices is negative visualization. This means imagining the worst-case scenario and thinking about how you would handle it. At first, this might sound scary or pessimistic, but it is actually very helpful. When you think about the worst that could happen, you realize that you can survive it. This makes you less afraid of challenges and more prepared to face them. For example, if you are afraid of public speaking, you can imagine what would happen if you make a mistake. Maybe people will laugh, or maybe you will feel embarrassed. But you will still be alive, and you can try again. By facing your fears in your mind, you become braver in real life. Another Stoic practice is to remind yourself of impermanence. Everything in life is temporary, both the good and the bad. The Stoics call this memento mori, which means remember that you will die. This is not meant to make you sad or scared, but to help you appreciate what you have and not take anything for granted. When you remember that life is short, you focus on what really matters. You stop wasting time on things that are not important, and you feel more grateful for the people and experiences you have. This helps you stay calm because you are not attached to things that can be lost. You know that everything changes, and you can accept this truth with peace. The Stoics also teach us to be humble and not to care too much about what others think. Many of our worries come from wanting to impress people or avoid their judgment. But the Stoics remind us that we cannot control other people's opinions, and we should not let them control us. What matters is how we live our own lives and whether we are true to our values. When you stop worrying about what others think, you feel freer and more confident. For example, if someone criticizes you, you can choose to ignore it or learn from it. But you do not have to let it ruin your day. You know that your worth comes from inside, not from other people's approval. One of the most important Stoic lessons is to take responsibility for your own happiness. Many people think that happiness comes from outside, like money, success, or other people. But the Stoics say that true happiness comes from within. It comes from living a life of virtue, which means being honest, kind, courageous, and wise. When you focus on being a good person, you feel proud of yourself. And this gives you a deep sense of peace. No matter what happens outside, you know that you are doing your best, and this is enough. For example, if you fail at something, you can still feel good because you tried your hardest and learned something new. You do not need to depend on external things to feel happy. The Stoic way is not always easy, but it is simple. It is about focusing on what you can control, accepting what you cannot control, and living with courage and wisdom. When you practice these principles, you become stronger and more resilient. You stop being a victim of circumstances and start being the master of your own life. You can face pressure with calmness and confidence, because you know that you have the power to choose your thoughts and actions. This does not mean that life will always be easy, but it means that you will always be able to handle it. In conclusion, the Stoic way to stay calm under pressure is about understanding your power, focusing on the present, accepting challenges, and living with virtue. It is about realizing that you cannot control everything, but you can control yourself. By practicing these ideas, you can find peace and strength in any situation. Life will always have ups and downs, but with the Stoic mindset you can face them with grace and courage. Remember, the obstacle is the way, and every challenge is an opportunity to grow. So next time you feel pressure, take a deep breath, focus on what you can do, and trust yourself to handle it. You are stronger than you think, and you have the power to stay calm and keep moving forward.